Hey everyone, welcome to Pop XP. And before the show starts, make sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell to get notifications when we go live and we upload awesome new content. And don't forget, if you can, make sure to share our stream on all your social media outlets. We appreciate it, and thanks for helping us grow the Pop XP channel.
What's up, everybody? Teen Sensation Billy Tucci here, and I am live. What's up? Where's my little bell? So I'm doing a little draw stream. What's up, Glitch? Hail, my friend. Hail, everybody on Facebook. I should be I don't think I am streaming live on Facebook. Sorry. Wanted to, but for some reason, Facebook is glitching, and it will not let me go live. What's up with that, man? So, anyway, I'm live here. So this is a cover for Ran, Revenge of the Warrior. It's the hardcover edition. The angle's off, but trust me, she's anatomically correct and everything is. Let's see if I get in there. If I do that a little bit, so. And this is going to be launching in a few weeks, maybe even as early as next week if we get our. If I get this done and we get our covers. We got some great variant covers. We got one by Leandro Oliveira. We got another variant cover by Fred Bennis. And then we have another variant cover by the great Dan Lawless. Dan the Man Lawless. And then I'll have my two covers. I'm thinking about actually doing the very first drawing I did of Ran, I did it like 1990, and I did it with inks and pastels. And if you guys have ever seen the She 30th Anniversary Edition, She Way the Warrior #1 30th Anniversary Edition, it's in that. So I think that might be a pretty cool cover. And, so I'm not going to talk much just because I want to draw. I got to get this done today. But what's up, Edward? I want to say hi. What's up, Mr. Hogan? Good to see you. I am keeping up the good fight. David Zatana, good to see you, buddy. The great Joe Bernardo, my bro from another Mo. Good to see you guys out there. And I'm just going to draw. So literally what we have here is this is the hardcover of Ran. And as you can see, she's a lot sexier than she. The reason why I haven't made this black is because when I originally drew the character, this part was black and then this part was red. But I'm kind of curious if it might look better if the bottom part is black, because she'll start off red up here with the black stripes. That's black. Then if I make this red and then black, so it's red, black, or if I do it opposite with, black, and then red. I'm going to ask my colorist to do two versions of it, and then we'll see. And I think it's going to be a lot of neon that's going to be in this. She's on a back alley of Tokyo. You see this guy that she just cut his head off, and that's going to be his hand. Some Yakuza punk. You see his fingers cut his pinky off, and I'm just doing some background stuff now. So I want to get this bad boy done today and draw for a little bit. And maybe go get something to eat. I don't know. I don't even know what time it is. Let's see, what time is it? 3 o'clock. Not even 3 o'clock. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to be drawing. I might try to find some music on my end. I don't know if you guys can hear the music. But let's see if that's live right now. If I am streaming live. Yeah, I am streaming good. Okay. I want to go on YouTube and try to find some cool copyright free, in case it gets through. Copyright free. Let's see, Japanese music or jazz. Let's see, jazz maybe. I think let's listen to some jazz. There we go. Royalty free, smooth jazz music. I'm going to listen to this. These cookies. The hell is that? That's an ad. Sons of bitches. Sons of bitches. There we go. Let's listen to some of this. Yeah, I got 2 hours of it. So I'm going to move this over here. Listen to that, and I hope everyone's doing well. I'm really loving this book. I am so excited doing this book. writing the script right now, and it's basically everything I always wanted to do with She. Oh, good idea. Thank you. Black boots will allow you to showcase the blood that Ran is stomping out on her foes. Good idea. And also, when she rides her motorcycle, which she does, it looks a lot better. So thank you, Glitch, for that. Because if you look down here, it will be dripping. And maybe I'll work on that first for you guys. And the blood is dripping here, and there's some nice splatter. My name will go there. And that's what we'll do that. I got these dang rulers of mine, and I think because I've been using them, they're getting a little dirty and messing me up a little bit. So, like see, like there's little spots here, which I'll be able to see if you get it there. You see there's little spots there that actually look like blood, but that's not supposed to be there. But yeah, this will be our hardcover edition the hardcover cover, blah. And then there will be a soft cover, like I said, which will probably be the first Rand drawing that I did and back in 1990 of the character that became She. And this is going to be no holds bar, tons of action. Got a great villain in the Wolf. He's an American expat who deals in prostitution and drugs, and she goes after him. The reason why you'll find out that she has this red circle over her eye is because she was scarred with a broken bottle. And that's why when she wears the white face paint, she puts the red over the eye to symbolize the pain, the blood. And so that's that. Hey, Victoria, how are you? Good to see you. Bobby Nunnery, what's up, brother? Hey, Billy, hope you are well. Okay, wow, holy wow, that looks great. I should read these first. Yeah, you embarrass me. So yeah, this is going to be a nice one. So I think it's going to be a ton of neon, purples and reds, and the orangey red lantern. I think looking at it now, but it's too late because I sprayed it. I'm probably going to throw another lantern back here, but we'll have cool light emitting from these windows here, and be a bunch of debris on the ground. And if I could throw the light rain coming down, I can do some cool puddle effects too with the in the water in the street. So let's get going. And tomorrow I will be going live. Hopefully Dr. Blevins will join us, and also JC Vaughn. JC Vaughn will be releasing his new Indiegogo tomorrow. It's in my Indiegogo update, and I'll see if I can share that later. But it's a Dead Inspector. It's a real noir, brutal, really, really interesting story of these murders that have existed for hundreds of years. The same types of murders in the same areas, and this Dead Inspector, you could go with that, will be he's investigating these crimes. So it's pretty. It's a great story. The book is all done too. That's what Jeff does. Is he gets his stuff done so fast, so soon. He's like Brian Pulido. He actually has his books complete before he even launches, giving obviously the fans a really quick turnaround for when he gets it printed. But so he basically he basically needs you guys to let me stop saying literally so much, to help him to get it printed. If you guys would support him, he's one of the good guys of the industry, great pal of our great supporter of ours, and just one of the good guys in comics. He's the president of Gemstone Publishing that does the Overstreet Price Guide. So he's a very busy man. And he also wrote She Gatecrasher, which Genevieve notified us. Genevieve, our printing rep, notified us that the book, I think it's printed already. It's just got to go into the binding phase. And She Gatecrasher is all done. It's at the printer and is expected to ship to us next week. So once that comes in, we will go full bore on the fulfillment, and can't wait. Cannot wait to see this book. I really can't, because I'm so proud of it. So what I'm using here, guys, is I'm using these. If you notice, I like to do with the female characters a lot. I like to do use my black pencils. I like to use these right here, which is a filler, and it's a nice, deep, soft ebony black, alongside my good old Beryl Print Prismacolors. So you know, so this is why I end up finishing it with this, finishing it off with these. And these are great. Once it's colored by such luminaries as Brian Miller and Wes Harden and a couple other guys, it ends up looking like watercolor. It ends up looking incredibly fabulous. So that's that. So join me in doing this really detailed Japanese alley background. So, all right. Will there be a RAM? Yes, Glitch. There definitely will be a RAM rough cut because I love those. I love the rough cuts. It's nice to do like a sort of a first draft with the script and with that. And I'm working on the script now. And here's the thing: is I'm wondering, Graham Nolan works Marvel style, and he's a big fan of that. I'm kind of curious. Maybe I should do that. It's very hard for me. I'm very structured when I write my scripts, so I don't know. I mean, I do really detailed scripts. So I'm a little torn here. About it. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Either or, it's going to be good. It's going to be great, and leaves a lot to the imagination. And I think Rand will be. This will be the first, the Rand's first official comic. Where it's Gatecrasher is the first appearance of Rand, and we'll be launching that either next week or the week after. And we're going to do Go first, and then we might launch the. If we launch, we'll probably launch the Kickstarter. I got to ask Deb at the end of in November, early November. So if we could launch the Indiegogo next week, the week after, say October 1st, even, then it gives us the freedom to actually launch to give it a nice 5-6 weeks, because I know you Indiegogo backers out there, you guys seem to be a lot more patient with us, so thank you. Of course, I always we always deliver. That's all. That's not me. That's amazing fulfillment team, which includes my sons, the great Renzini, AJ Garcia, Isaac Snowden's coming in a few weeks, so he'll be helping us as well. And we'll get that book out as soon as possible. As soon as they start coming in, as soon as they arrive at our office, we're going to start putting them out. And I don't know how to thank you guys. I don't know how to thank you guys enough for $235,000 this campaign did. And you're just wonderful. But I think you're going to love Rand. Again, she's a lot younger, than she's, basically and the story takes place in 1993. So lots of fun with that. Motorcycles and Yakuza and American expats, Vietnam veterans who are just total badasses and bad guys. And she's going to go after them because they're doing human trafficking and stuff like that, and which was pretty prevalent in Asia. I think it still is. Maybe not so much in Japan, but Ran is going to be. She's a product of that herself, a victim of that. So it's going to be cool. We'll have some cameo pieces in there, some cameo pages for people who want to play a part in it. And I can't get this angle right, guys. I'm sorry, but trust me, it's all good. This is going to be a little neon right here. Thank you, Don. Good to see you, brother. Taking it from you, that is a compliment of the highest order. Thank you, bro. Which I love the rough cut books. I think I might have invented that too. Man, look at me coming in with making sketch covers, a thing that people actually want to do. In 1997, Gen 13 did the very first, if you will, sketch cover, but that was more of a a novelty thing. And I don't know if they were serious about having people actually draw on it because it was that, that kind of, it was the same paper stock as the rest of the Gentleman issues. And I tried drawing on it a few times. It's pretty bad. But got to credit Jim Lee, as always. Jim and Scott Campbell, innovators, man. Innovators to the highest order. So we're doing, because we've come across that we were so busy 25 years ago, 30 years ago, with all these cool thick books. We're going to be releasing the Senryaku Special hardcover 30th anniversary edition. And we'll also be releasing a Mangashi 2000, the 25th anniversary of that book. I think because our Daredevil She-book sold out, we might do a special New York Comic Con edition of the Daredevil She-book too. Just because people really like that, and we only did 60 copies of it originally. Regular edition blew out. I should have thought because it's Comic Con. Jason Brazier, do you use EVS's warehouse, or do all the Kings have their distribution centers? I do not use EVS's warehouse. I think Cecil might. And no, we have our own. We have our own. A lot of guys do it. Most people, and we were doing it up until 2 years ago. I mean, but that, we've done 10 campaigns in the past 4 years, 5 years actually now. So we're averaging 2 a year, plus all of our special editions, plus getting our books into comic shops. And we're having some meetings now with other distributors, aside from Diamond. And sadly, Diamond, things are pretty rough over there. They seem to be working some things out, but they still owe us some money too, sadly. But that said, I'm an optimist. But we have our own distribution center. It's located here in Bayport, New York, and we actually will be having a little fulfillment party. We've done it before. We're going to do that in October, and maybe on a Sunday, have people come on down and hang out. Probably near the end of October, because I have conventions the first 3 weeks of October. We have the Southern New Hampshire Comic Bash, which is the October 4th up in Nashua, New Hampshire. Then we have the that's an ad. There you go. And then the following week will be the New York Comic Con, which I will be there on Friday and Saturday of New York Comic Con, because we'll be in the middle of fulfillment, and I know I'll be coming back to sign books. I might not even be staying in the city. Debbie and I were planning on going into Manhattan, do the show. I'll be at the Hot Flips booth along with Rob. I think Rob will be there this year again. Rob Liefeld and Marat Michaels will be there too. They were my booth mates, if you will, last year and the year before. And so we'll be there, have a special, some special New York Comic Con editions, working on some really cool stuff for that. Again, Senryaku 30th Anniversary Edition, a Daredevil She New York Comic Con edition. Oh, and of course the Gatecrasher oversized Part 2 of the Gatecrasher Part 2 Pure Line edition, which is a black and white edition of Gatecrasher. And that will feature She, Lady Death, and Miss Fury on the cover. I'm doing a whole new cover of that. I got to talk to Stan Sakai. I'd love to put Usagi on it. So because Miss Fury's not in Part 2. She's in Part 1. So I'm going to give Stan Sakai a call and say, Stan, can I add Usagi to this cover? So because that's, he's a personal hero of mine, and he's always been one of the kindest, they say never meet your heroes. And I don't know about you guys, but I've met a bunch of my heroes in comics, and I have to say every one of them has been nothing more than gems of human beings. Even John Byrne was always been really cool to me. I don't know. It's so funny. Here are these scary guys. I met Neil, and Neil was always very nice to me. I did a lot of store signings with Neil. Actually went to Continuity Comics to show my She pages, because I didn't know what was going to happen with it. She was almost done. No, that's not true. I was planning on doing She. I showed him the Razor annual pages, and he's like, hey, and he offered me the book Samurai that he was planning on doing in a few months, and of course, by the time he was up for me to do it, She had come out already. She, Way of the Warrior #1 that came out, so that never happened, which is fine. Cool character, and sent me some of the drawings and all. They were pretty racy. By the great Mark Beecham, who's a fantastic artist, but you could see he was having a good time doing those books. Marcus Killigrew, my brother Marcus. Good to see you, Marcus. How are you, bro? Murat did some good sheet covers for Christensen. Did he? Yeah. So that's the thing, is that I'm going to put that out there to our Tucci troopers to see if we actually will. Our next crowdfunding campaign will be She, the Omnibus Volume 2, the crossovers. So we're going to be doing a crossover omnibus book, which has Grifter's She, She Cyblade, Tomo Witchblade, because it's in the She universe. What else? Wolverine She, Daredevil She. We've done some great crossovers, funny time features, which we did. That was the first She crossovers with the great Derek Draymond and Rob Bohum. How do you say his name? I gotta figure out how to pronounce Rob's last name. Bohum. And a bunch of others, but see, and we did do some crossovers with Christensen, and Gatecrash will be in that book as well. But I don't know. I gotta tell you, I just don't know if I want that stuff in She lore, just because there was so much going on that I never saw a lot of these covers. That they just showed up. Like, it was supposed to be a 2-issue series or something like that. And I'm supposed to get approval of all of every cover, of every page. And I didn't see pages. I didn't see anything. So I'm kind of contemplating whether I put it in. I will be doing, like she did, a 10th Muse crossover. We did some other crossovers that will be added to. Talked to my buddy Martheus Wade if I could add the She into that, and he said yes. Into the Jetta She, which was another crossover. So lots of stuff. The book's going to be huge. It's probably going to be close to 500 pages as well, because we just did so many crossovers, and had a lot of fun times, man. Plus, I'm finding so much extra stuff, sketches and designs and notes and all kinds of cool things, because a lot of this stuff, the Razor book, I don't know. I'm definitely going to put the She pages from the Razor annual, because I don't know how to get in touch with Everett Hartsoe. Because I hear he's around. I hear he's doing Kickstarters, but man, I haven't seen him in a long time. And we had some fun. She appeared in the Razor annual #1, which I think was December of 1993. And, in Everett's awesome Outlaw title. And then, when She came out, that book just exploded. And Razor's just a great badass character. I think visually it's really cool looking. And he's a good dude, man. We had some fun, man. We had a lot of fun. He's a little older than me. And he was doing, London Night Studios. And then I said, man, I want to do my own book. I want to do this. And but it was fun. I thank him for giving me the opportunity. And that's the first appearance of She right there, is in the Razor Annual, 1993. And man, but if I could do that, if I could swing to get the Razor book in it, because I didn't, if we can get the Razor She book in it, that would be fun, because Joe Linzer did an amazing cover for the Razor She special that Everett ended up putting out years later. So who knows? We'll see. That's the cool thing about comics, is a lot of these crossovers and stuff. Like, people ask me, how did you get the Wolverine crossover? Well, the Wolverine crossover was done because I had done a series of Battle Books, which was a comic book gaming system, which was a lot of fun, based off of the Ace of Aces gaming concept by Al Leonardi. And I just love this idea. I'm like, wow, why can't we do this with comics? Why can't we have, Wolverine fighting She? Why can't we have the Thing versus, the Incredible Hulk? But you are the one who actually determines the outcome of it. And we did pretty well with it, but it was so much work, man. So much work. I'm not a gamer, so I didn't know, but it's got this cool cult following. So I think in storage, I still have a lot of those Blue Line editions. You never know. That might be something kind of cool. If I can offer a limited edition of all these Blue Line editions of that book, cool. Of those books, like the Blue Line editions we had made. I don't know how much of the regular versions I still have, but I know we had Blue Line editions, which is like very limited. We had them at San Diego Comic-Con. I think if everyone came to the booth, you got one for free or something crazy like that. Lauren, my sister-in-law, was like 13. She was working the booth. Me, Debbie, and Lauren, and that's when I got in that big fight. Those guys and stuff. Oh, those were the days. Those were the days of being young and making comics with your heroes. Pretty effing cool. I can say so myself. All right, I'm gonna stop talking for now. I'm gonna draw a little bit. If you guys have specific questions, I'll answer. Join me as I draw. David, well, it's well taken. I can print them. I just have to look at them and see. I'm not going to print the Lady Death She book that Avatar did, because Brian Polito and I might have some plans for that going forward next year. Might. I'm just saying. But maybe the She books. Maybe I'll throw those in there. I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll see. Wasn't crazy about them. It would be the what we did with see, that's the thing. I'd have to talk to Rob Liefeld too, because it's Evangeline She. So for Rob, we did Evangeline She through Avatar. That would pretty much be the only book we include in it, because I'd love to have Evangeline in it. I just visually love that character, and I'll show you something cool. The cover is going to be based on the first comic I ever bought, which is this, the Marvel Treasury Edition, the astonishing Spider-Man Treasury Edition I bought in 1978, I believe, that I actually bought. Not that it was given to me, but a comic I actually bought at a flea market, and this is the exact one. But I'm going to make the cover. This is based off of the Band on the Run album cover, and I'd love to do this for She, volume omnibus volume 2, the crossover, and have She up here, and then they have, Lady Death, Witchblade, Wolverine, give me something else, Vampirella, right? Daredevil. That's probably Wolverine, right? Have Wolverine there. This could be Daredevil. This could be Evangeline. That could be Witchblade right there. And then on the back, I can have Tomoe. Give me somebody else. Who else I could say? 10th Muse, Jeddah, if you allow me, and then somebody else. I did a lot of crossovers. I'm not in that mode yet. I've been scanning in artwork and going through all the digital editions and putting them into a massive file for when we do. But the goal for that is to have that book all ready to go before we launch it. Debbie is killing me because I always launch these campaigns late in the year, and then we get murdered on taxes because it shows that we have all this money at the end of the year, and they think, that then I got to pay taxes on that. So we'll see what we do with that. Because he's not too happy right now with that, having my stuff be so late. It's kind of tough when you're an artist, Like even this cover, I worked on this cover on Sunday. I was home working, and then I changed the background. I had a different background. I completely changed it, and now I'm like, wow, I should have kept that little background. It's a lot of work, but it looks really cool, right? I mean, think about it. It's almost like a Kira-like background, And again, with all the neon and everything, it's gonna be pretty snazzy there. Photo. It's not there. The wire. A spaceship I was drawing. So a thing that I draw all the time is I have this massive space epic. Whoop! Turn that ad off. So I have this space epic that I've been working on since like 5th grade after I saw Star Wars. To be no shit, and this is one of the fighter craft of it, one of the Earthlings fighter craft that this design has pretty much been the same, and I base it off of the racing boats back in the day. So one of my neighbors, one of my friends, his dad was a racing boat. He raced boats. His last name was Rodriguez. His son's name was Taiki, and he was German, and his dad, I think, was Argentinian, and he raced boats. And I just thought those racing boats were so cool. So I based my drawing, my starfighters, sort of off of that. And my starfighters don't just fly straight like that. They go like this, because if you see these up here, these are exhaust ports that push it out. So if you look in films like in Star Wars and stuff, and the fighters go, let me get a toy. Let me get a little. See if I got a little Enterprise here or something. There we go. I got an Enterprise right here. Here you go. Here's an Enterprise. So this is my Klingon. I don't know what my Klingon ship is, but if you see a lot in Star Wars and stuff like that, even Star Trek, you see these ships going like that, like they're in the atmosphere. They will not. Starfighters will not fly like this. There's no way. What they'll do is that they will fly like that as they're going forward or going backwards. So that's my design, and the part is that it's really cool looking. Technically, I think a more successful design would be to put all of that. Now, this definitely works with monitors, which I have monitors. I have these which we call it ships, these that protect the Earth, like a monitor Merrimack. But I think an orb will really be the most successful type of starfighter, because you can have your pilot could be in here, say, right? So say he's sitting like that, right? And then you can just have all around him can be these exhaust ports from his main engine, right? So it can be here, it could be here. Say his engine is here, right? His main thruster, say, can be here, so he can really, take off. His guns can be all here, right? Sets of guns here, sets of guns there. And then this would be wide open. So it would almost be like you'd see him here, and he'd be there, and here'd be your guns. Here'd be all your directional exhaust ports, I guess, if you will, guns, and the pilot be sitting like this. And he probably would, he definitely would see all around. Like even fighters today, fighter pilots have in their helmets and stuff that they can actually see 360 degrees around their aircraft, so they could see who's behind them with all the cameras that are into his that are programmed into his own visor and stuff. So Khan famously lost because he thought, yes, which kind of doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So anyway, so that's that. No, the Last Starfighter is not a great design, Joe Bernardo. Come on. Mine's much better. And again, the reason why I do it is because it's cool looking. So I got to put a bunch of junk. Got warm out all of a sudden. I have the AC off because, you know, it was chilly this morning. Let's do that. So that goes there. Okay, let's do this up here. Giant pipe. It's going to be steam and all kinds of cool stuff like that showing. Again, I'll try to shut up. Yeah, right, David. Yeah. A seltzer water. People put like, you know, up the bills, wanted ads or whatever. Hooker ads for hookers or something. I don't know how they do. Speaking. Z-shaped, like the Orbs in Oblivion with Tom Cruise. Oh, I gotta see that. I haven't seen Oblivion in a long time. Joe Minaro, you still there? Yeah. And me and Will were talking about you the other night that when he surprised you when he did the whole chi thing, splitting your chi or whatever. You're talking about uh, Heroes Con and just what a great time he had with you and Andy and Dennis Turner and everybody. Good times with friends. That's like our show to go to. Oh, there's another bloody ad. Hey, there he is. Delvey. Happy belated birthday, buddy. I hope you had a good birthday. I believe it was last week, right? Miss you, pal. Hope to see you soon. What did Joe Bernardo go? There you go. I don't know where I'll be heading out to your way. I'll give you guys a little hint of what shows I'll be doing that I know of this year. For the remainder of this year, again, on October 4th, I will be up in Nashua, New Hampshire for my buddy Randy House's awesome convention called the Southern New Hampshire Comic Bash, which is great, a great party. It really is like a party atmosphere. And, you know, it's a real Comic-Con. So we'll be hitting that. Debbie and I will be hitting that and hanging out, having a good time. And then after that, the week after that will be the New York Comic-Con, which I will be there on with, I believe, with Isaac. I will be there on Friday and Saturday. That's the only days I'll be there because New York is one of them shows where you like to hang out and go to dinner and stay in the city. And I mean, last year we went and we had the best time. We took Adam Hughes and his assistant Riddle. Allison, his wonderful wife, wasn't feeling well, or the dogs weren't feeling, so Allison couldn't come. But we were joined by Adam, his assistant Riddle, and who's a doll, and Robin and Terry Moore, and we just had the best time. We went to the old King Cole bar. Debbie and I stayed at the St. Regis Hotel, and we had a nice date night, and we went to the old King Cole bar with them and looked at the Maxwell Parrish painting. But you know, we also spent $500 that night on appetizers and drinks. But you know, that's another story for another day. But anyway, but I have to get back. I'm gonna have to get back to signed books because I know they'll be waiting on me like always. So I figure for this year for New York Comic Con, I'll come in Friday morning, you know, do Friday, set up Friday, and then go home Friday night. Get to bed nice and early, maybe even getting super early on Friday. If I could get in, say, at 8 o'clock or so at the con floor, set up, do Friday, and then and then come back, go home like a responsible person, and then go home and then come back on Saturday. Because like I said, the week after New York Comic Con then is the Baltimore Comic Con. And Debbie and I will be doing that. William and Matthew will also be coming in. So that's cool. We'll do a family thing. It's before Matthew's wrestling really kicks off. Probably the last weekend before he starts with tournaments and things like that. So before the season starts, they have these preseason tournaments and all. So he's going to come as well, Matthew, and we'll get together as a family and do some dinner with our, Debbie's cousins come. My nephew and niece live there, so we'll hopefully see them. And that's a fun show. And then we're home for a couple of weeks, hopefully to finish that. And I want to finish all of my art by the end of October for not the finishes, because Leandro Oliveira is the finish. It does amazing finishes over my pencil roughs. Well, they're pencils, they're not roughs. But he's like inking with a pencil. That's how it started. Was I was looking for an inker, and then if you guys remember in Gatecrasher, we had Gardnio, who was phenomenal as well. And now I've worked this will be the third book that I work with Leandro on, and we even had Fred Bennis came in on Gatecrasher to do finishes on some of the other pages, like the Archie style, really to see where their styles kind of matched up better with the characters. So those guys are great. They did 2 dynamite covers for us, so we'll wait till you see them. And again, the whole thing with Rand is Rand's gonna be a super sexy version of She. That's what it is. As you can see, this is her costume, and looking forward to many, many more adventures with her, featuring her. So we hope you guys will back us. You're gonna love this book. Again, it's all action. It's like Wolverine She is all action. Like there's literally them talking in 2-3 panels, and they're just fighting throughout the whole thing. And they go back into ancient Japan and stuff like that. It's really, really cool crossover. And I'm very happy to reprint it and show it to all of you. And if you guys will pick it up, we'd really appreciate it. Okay, let's do this. If I ever get out to Las Vegas, I'll let you know. Sure thing, brother. Are you out in Las Vegas now, Joe? Is that where you live? I thought you lived in Charlotte. Oh, I can't be sure. Because I know I hang out with you in Charlotte. But I will let you know for sure. We'll definitely be going to Charlotte next year. But that said, that's just because I love hanging out at that con. And I love Shelton, and I love Carla, and I love everybody there. It's a real comic convention. Not unlike Baltimore, not unlike Terrificon. and also not unlike the Southern New Hampshire Comic Bash. And then in the Saturday before Thanksgiving, one of my favorite shows, and Debbie and I will be there with William, and Matthew will be coming in for Thanksgiving, is Mike Carbonaro's Big Apple Comic Con. I've been doing the Big Apple Comic Con since the very first one that happened, I think in 1997 or 96. I think it was 96. Yeah, it was 96. When the New York Comic Con, the guy who's putting it on, didn't pay the unions and stuff, didn't pay. So they shut him down, and they shut the convention down. And then Mike Carbo put up at a church. It was a church con, and put on the very first Big Apple Con, which was we called it Church Con, which was in the basement of a church. And man, was that fun. That was so much fun doing that those convention days, man. And we would all just go and just get all crazy. But Mike is doing one at the New Yorker Hotel now. Fancy stuff. Steranko's always there. I'll be there. A couple of other cool guests are usually there. Paris Cullens is there. Hopefully we get Gary Cohn there. But Gary might be doing the Hurricane, which I hear is another great show. But the Hurricane and the Big Apple Con seem to be the same weekend, same day. They're both, I think, one-day shows, and they're both on Saturday the 22nd, and they're probably about 5 miles away from each other. One's in Brooklyn, I think, and one's in Manhattan. And you're like, come on, why are you guys doing that? You're killing us doing that. So, okay, that's cool. Oh yeah, that was okay. Heroes Haven's was a great store. That's in Lakeland, right? Is Heroes Haven in Lakeland? I don't remember. Okay, so I'm going down here because I'm doing all this stuff here. And then for my convention appearances, then Debbie and I, and hopefully some of you guys, maybe Dr. Blevins Dr. Blevins is going to come, is the Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con cruise. It's a 4-day cruise, and it's a comic convention on the cruise. It's our ship. So if you guys could join us, that is going to be a blast. They say that the comic convention part is only a few hours a day, and then we all just hang out. And there's like events and panels and cool, but you'll get to hang with us. There's a lot of celebrities going to be there. There's something to think about, and hang out with us. I know that Jimmy will be there. Amanda will be there. We'll see who else we can get, who else is attending and all, but that's going to be fun. Okay. Crazy back alley pull out so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Sorry. He's got a big head, a little body, but like I said, yeah, sorry guys that the angle's off, but it's my artboard is up like this, and for me to draw, I even have it down. My artboard right now is like on a 30-degree angle. I usually draw like a 60-degree angle. So I apologize. I'll try to zoom in when I'm doing this dude's hand, but if I can get this background done first, that'll make me a whole lot happier. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I've never even seen any Real Housewives ever. Thank God. Also, guys, tomorrow Debbie and I will be going live at 7 p.m. To launch the She Wolverine Special Edition. We'll be posting a lot of art, things like that. Some really cool variants we have with that book. I think she's doing just 50 copies of each of the regular edition. I think there's 4 different versions of it, and I think 25 of the medals or the foils or something like that. That was a fun book. A little crazy, with corporate interference and stuff, but oh well. Oh, another ad. Jimmy Cricket. Oh, Tampa. Okay. Okay. I know what you're talking about now, Joe. Yep. Yes, she's holding a severed head. And here's the guy's hand. Look, here's his hand. His little pistol will be there. And the blood is going to lead from where his head was all the way be dripping there. And I'll fill all that in. All right. Mess around with Rand, bro. That's what happens. You gotta know we got time for that. I ain't got time for it. She ain't got time for it. Joe Bernardo ain't got time for it. Delvey ain't got no time for it. That's what we're talking about, man. Oh, I need help. That's all. And Rand actually uses the weapon that she wields is a wakizashi. And at the end of the story, she'll have 2 of them. So, no spoilers, but that's a wakizashi. Shorter than a katana. Better for close quarter action. Don't even think about making her give. Oh, you guys let me know what you think. I mean, it's the 90s, so I'm thinking about at least one scene. I'm gonna have her like smoking a cigarette. Does that go through there? It does. Hello, nice. All right. The opening scene, I want to have her where she goes to take out her first adversary. I'd like to have her face is lit up, very noir like with a cigarette, like you hear the flicker and that sort of thing, and it illuminates her face, and you see the white makeup and stuff. But it's really cool, guys. It completely inspired me. Oh, great. Adino's here. Great. Great. Now what's happening, bro? How are you? You're my Woden shot. So is anyone planning on going to Baltimore Comic Con? The Big Apple Comic Con, the New York Comic Con, or the Garden State Comic Bash, or the San Diego Comic Con cruise? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? Anyone? God's sakes. I'm gonna add some coordinateness to these windows. Oh, check, please. Hello. What else I got, guys? I got something else new aside from my bell. Look at this. Where is it? There you go. Ooh. Bring out your dead. Bring out your dead. Okay, here's I will look into that. Joe, send me a message of that. I'm not familiar with that. Thank you. Yeah, Phil, if you can, it'd be good to see it. Free admission at Garden State. So, you're not having anything to lose, bro. What the hell is that? God, I hate that shit. God. Crappy auto tune, untalented garbage. I got Sorry, showing my age much? Yes, because I remember Foghat. You guys remember Foghat? That's what we're talking about. None of this sissy stuff. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves with that Justin Bieber and whatever else sissy music you listen to these days. The kids are. Because I like to tell you, the kids are not all right. I'm just letting you know that. Joe Bernardo might think so, but I don't. So, do you guys like these draw streams? You guys into them? Let me know if you do, because I like doing them. And I'd like to do them with when I start really get into the Rand book, and maybe I can have my little, my friend Frankster came up with a really cool title, and I'll see if I can borrow it from him. It's like Frank's Rough Life. And I wonder if I could do like Rand's Rough Life, and I could do when I'm drawing my rough, my drawings, the original pencils and stuff. I call them roughs. They're not pencils. I mean, they're not roughs at all. They're printable. Debbie's like, you can go to color with these. I'm like, no. And I tell her, shut up. Right to her face. That's what I tell her. Like, shut up, Debbie. You want some of this? I give her one of these. Right? And then she shuts up. She knows what time it is. That's right. She knows who's boss. She knows who's Billy Badass. I'm Billy Badass. She ain't no Billy Badass. Speaking of badasses, today is the 81st anniversary of Operation Market Garden. If you guys are familiar with A Bridge Too Far, story about 35,000 paratroopers from U.S., Great Britain, Canada, and Poland literally went a bridge too far. It was really the first the British. They sent them too far, and their armored regiments just could not break through to them. And great scene in the movie with Robert Redford. Of course, we lost the great Robert Redford, 89 years old. Let me tell you something, Joe Bernardo. I'll take 89 years old right now. I'll take it right now. You give me that, I'm going to start drinking and drugging with you every day, because that's what you do. Billy's losing his mind. He's losing his mind. So if you guys want to ask me something, ask me some questions, and I'll look up and I'll answer them. Tell you how I really feel about something. Oh, and thank you. Yeah, David, I love doing these. It's pretty cool. I'll end up using like one of these whole leads. And a lot of times when I draw, I use a whole pencil. Yeah, the Pop XP is going to... Niall is just too busy for the Pop XP. So it's going to end up... This is going to become the official Tucci Troopers channel. So it'll be me and Debbie promoting all of our books. And let's face it, we've gotten really busy in these past, thanks to you guys. We have not been this busy since, to be perfectly honest with you, since the 1990s. And we owe it all to you guys. And we know that. And we appreciate you and all that you've done for us to change our lives. It's been an extraordinary adventure that you guys have joined us, because with the crowdfunding, if you guys don't like the books, you'll tell us. And if they suck, you'll let us know. And you won't buy them anymore. And, so thank you for doing that. And I made an apology that I know that Gatecrasher is a few months late. I'm sorry. That's all my fault. We changed. I wanted there's some things in the script that after it was written that Jeff wrote. It was terrific. Yes, hang on. I'm going to get to that glitch. My ADD is kicking in when you make me see that. I wanted to change the story. I wanted to add like 5 or maybe 8 more pages to the story. And I wanted to change some things up. And the story was good as it is, but it's just so much better. There's just so much to talk about with, creator rights and about the existence of a comic character existing. So I ended up changing and going in another direction with it, and changing pages, adding pages, poor Jeff changing script because of me and my nuttiness. But you guys are it's well worth it. Again, I'm sorry that it's a few months old. I think it's 3 months late. I'm sorry. It's going to be 3 months late. I apologize. But trust me, you're going to love it. And you guys deserve our very best. As I said, you guys have changed our lives for a second time. And that of my family. And We're so appreciative of all of you guys, and we feel that you guys deserve our very best. You really do. I could have put out, and that's something else that, we could put these books out a lot quicker. I could have put She Gatecrasher out in a month, to be perfectly honest with you. But it's going to look like I put it out in a month. And that's why I like doing things like this, really hit with the detail. Because this is my chance at immortality as well. And again, it's your money. We're working directly with you guys. You guys are our partners actually in this. So that's another thing, Glitch, right here. Bam. Was She Black, White, and Red the first black and red style book? 100% it was. So yes, once again, you're welcome. It's the 25th anniversary of that too. So maybe that could be J.G. Jones will be at the Baltimore Comic-Con. So maybe we can do a 25th anniversary of She Black, White, and Red. Gotta talk to Deb. Deb, get on the phone. Deborah, somebody get Deb on the phone. Let's put it out there. Yes, it was. And then it spurned again, once again, sketch covers, right? She Black, White, and Red spurned a legion of imitators. Manga, man, we did Manga Sheet 2000. The first Manga Sheet we did was in 1996. And now manga style is all the rage. Everybody was very resistant to that. So the Manga Sheet will be, and that's another book that we're coming on. It's our 25th anniversary of this book, or 30th, 25th. Like, should I do that? Should I make the Manga Sheet book, and our 25th anniversary can come out a few months after the 25th anniversary, it doesn't really have to be on that exact date, so the 25th anniversary can come out a year later as long as it's the 25th anniversary. But gorgeous books. It was written by Dan Mishkin, excuse me. I believe edited by Peter Gutierrez, and it was the art was by Jason Arafalos. Terrific artist who had this great manga style. And then with the Vampirella She, we had Kevin Lau draw it. Just like She the series, and Kevin Lau is an amazing artist. And Kevin did our She Vampirella crossover and some of the She the series books. So you'll see Kevin's She Vampirella in the crossovers omnibus, which launches in January. So. It's crappy streets, crappy outside. Here, not here where I am. Paper and debris and stuff like that. So there's a really cool painting. One of my favorite Norman Rockwell paintings is one called, I believe it's called The Timekeeper or something. And it's a guy on the street in Manhattan, and he's checking the clocks. So back in the day, before everyone had cell phones, you had these clocks, beautiful ornate clocks on the sides of streets, on, street corners and things like that. And people would know when to check the time. They just look at the clock, the big clock. Well, here he was, the timekeeper, who was, I guess, either, up, maybe daylight savings time or something like that. And it's incredibly detailed. But the farther you go back on this clock painting, the buildings just become like shapes, like globs of paint and stuff. And you don't even notice it unless you really, really are looking for it. And that's what I like about this. Like, even these that started going up here. So this is all super detailed and, getting real detailed with the piping and everything like that. And the bricks and all. And, but then when you get to the background up there, let's just have some lines if you could see it. I don't know how this is coming out, but back up there. So we're getting ready to get to the blood in the hand. Here's another secret. If you guys use these mechanical pencils, something I learned this year, I think it was at Heroes Con. You see this little tab right here? Pull it off. It's a pencil sharpener. This cover of this pencil right here is a sharpener. Who knew? I didn't know. Look at that. It's a sharpener. There's your art lesson for the day. Art tip. Okay, this will be where my name goes. So I'm going to put my name in now anyway. You can see that's how I sign my name. And I will offer this cover up for sale on the campaign. There you go. Let's see if old Wes Hartman can color it for me. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Low Fat Water. She's a cutie pie. She is cute, but she's deadly. Don't mess with her. But she's fun. She's got a good sense of humor, and she's fun. Okay, let's do this guy's hand. Let's see if I can bring this down so you can see it better if I do go down like that. All right. You notice his fingers, pinky's cut off. I had a bunch of dead guys in the background here, but it looked kind of comical. So I think it's a lot more powerful to just have one guy's hand, and then you see this bright red blood is going to be going from from the corner of the page to her. Okay, let's draw that pistol. Where's my little toy pistol? There's my toy pistol. Hang on. Yeah, give me a second to find my toy pistol. There it is. It's out the 45. Pistol. The magazine comes out. See? Oh, I don't know if you can see it. Hang on. It's an F and N, maybe? I don't have it, so. These bullets. There you go. A racket? Nah, the 45 racks. There you go. Show you my 45. I always draw 45s, and I didn't want to draw a 45 this time. See, this is my good 40. I have a really detailed 45. Nah, this is not. This is, oh, shit. Did I just stab her somewhere? Yeah, no, this is just a plain Jane 45. I have a really cool 45 that I got at like the San Diego Comic-Con in like 95 or so that and I can show it to you. You know, rack. You could rack it, drop the magazine, all that. Rack the slide. Love 45s. I got. Well, that's a 1911. It's a 1911. I got two of them. I got a full size 1911, and then my Kimber, my micro. Well, they're both Kimbers. My micro 9 is is a sort of 45. A 1911 platform. So there's my pistol that I'm going to give this guy. And literally, that's how I drew this. Was like just hold this pistol in my hand and draw it. All right, give me 1 second. I am going to run and get seltzer water. So check her out. I'll give you some music too. There she goes. She's focused. I'm still here. So there you go. All right, I'll be right back. Right back. I'm here. Hello to all the 243 people watching us. Sorry, guys. I know for those of you who are Facebook people that for some reason I couldn't link to Facebook. I don't know why. But let's draw this yakka. Yakka's its hand. Yeah, well, I'm sitting drawing. If you guys have any questions, ask me about anything. I don't care. Ask away. Tails up. You ever cut a tree with a feather? I don't know. Cut down trees, and I got in big trouble for it. That he's still pissed off at me for it, hasn't forgiven me for it. Made a mistake and had one tree cut down that wasn't supposed to. And she was pissed. A bunch of cement shells. It's not messing around. And that's how we used to refer to girls in the 80s and the 90s, chicks. Because they want that nest egg, man. Joe, you coming out to Heroes this year? Let me know. Because we will be there. Well, and Passmaster Dan, what's up, kid? Andy Smith's Lilith Infernal Conflict is now live on Indiegogo. Are those guys live? Am I conflicting with the Dennis and Andy show? Today's Wednesday, right? Or Graybeards? Let me know. Oh, geez. Yeah, that's women, man. I hear you. Great. We'll see you there, buddy. I'm sorry. You're gonna love that book. You're gonna love it. This one. Is that William's home? This dude's head's dripping right there. See? Add some more music. Thank you, Past Master Dan. In White, Three Sins of the Father, he is coming to the end of that book. Um, he's almost done with it. Same thing with Aaron. Aaron is done with the black and white art for Wraith of God 3, Fear Hollow. So if you guys haven't, Past Master Dan's put all the links into the chat of all these fellow kings and fellow professionals. So if you don't mind, give it a shoot. Who are these things? I don't know. Thank you. I have Japanese newspapers. Like I was such a nut with the reference and everything that I actually went out and I have them somewhere. Like I just went to Japanese bookstore and I just bought newspapers just so I could see what they, no one really uses them anymore. But in 1993, they sure did. And you're gonna love this villain that we have in it too. He's a badass. Vietnam veteran. Again, takes place in 1993, so he's 52 years old. And he's pretty badass. Just think of how comics were in 1993. That's sort of what I'm doing. Oh, drop my ruler again. Oh, this is almost done, guys. I do sound effects when I draw, so it's like paper and blowing and stuff. I do a lot more shells. 9mm. Tell you, drawing this is something I learned that I'm very, very. Aaron makes fun of me that I went to fabric school, but I went to school for illustration. But I was primary fashion illustration, because I gotta be honest with you, I'd rather draw hot chicks than guys that look like me. Like in the life drawing classes, we'd have these beautiful models, and the guys who picked general illustration, had, said guys that look like me. Anyway, but I learned to draw, drawn from life every day for 4 years during school, while we're at school. You really got a great handle on the figure, the human figure. And it just helped you, to, know King, what's his name? Kim Jong-il, no, what's his name? The great artist. Right? Not the North Korean dictator. What is wrong with me? What? Hang on. There you go. Yes, Kim Jong-gi. Thank you. Not like him. I mean, that man was just a genius. My goodness, what he could do and did. Oh, I had the pleasure of meeting him a few times. And when I went to go get his book at San Diego the last year he was there, which I guess was 2 years ago now, maybe. There was a line, and it was a whole bunch of other comic pros, American comic pros. They all wanted, we all wanted, his book, and we're all just in awe of him. It was pretty incredible. Great experience. What a nice guy. I didn't know he was in the Army. I would love to have talked to him about that. seeing what he did in the Army and stuff. But man, what a talent. I mean, goodness gracious. You're talking about the best of us, you know? Like someone that, like, even like a Bill Sienkiewicz admired. Says a lot. Really does. And just what a shame. What a shame. So there you go. Guys, I think I might be done with this cover. I'm going to go in with my black to darken it up. But let's zoom out a little bit on here. And I got to spray it and see if I can get my angle right. I'm going to lower this. Not 100%. Whoopsies. There you have it. Ran, Revenge of the Warrior, hardcover edition. Can you guys make that out? There you go. How's that better? The angle's still a little bit off, but let's see if I can put the light here. Problem is I got the light and I got the camera, and the camera boom is. Somebody know a good light, a good camera mount to draw when I want to draw stream? Please put it in the description, in the comments here. But yeah, honey, I think this cover's done. Here's your hardcover. And we will be offering it for sale. I'm not going to make this bottom just yet black because I want to try it and see to switch it off either red and black or black. I'm sorry, red or black or red. I think I'm going to go with black on the bottom and red on the top. Someone had said it would look cooler with the blood, but here's this dude. He's laying there. Let me do some more detail on his hand here. Hang on. There you go. Ran, Revenge of the Warrior. #1 hardcover edition cover. I'm going to go in with the black. Let's make that pop a little bit. Yeah, see how this black will come in and really make these things pop. And again, I don't know how to thank you, Debbie and I both, from the bottom of our hearts of your extraordinary support and faith and patience with me. We just love you guys for it. We really do. I'm incredibly humbled of how, once again, for the second time in a century, in a second century, you guys have changed our lives, and we are wonderfully. We are insanely, humbly astonished by your goodwill and friendship, and, as I like to say, partnership, because we are partners in these books. We could not do them without you. I wouldn't even be here if it weren't for you guys. I used to joke, and now it bothers me to do that I'd be painting bridges for a living if it weren't for people like you, for you guys. But if I did that, I'd probably be retired now from working for the state of New York, or I was designing for Macy's children's wear, which I had no idea what I was doing. When I was only making $23,000 a year, though, and then somebody came up to me and said, "I got an opportunity. This company loves your work, and they want to meet with you." And I told them I was friends with you because they were giving me she worked there. She's like, they were giving me your art to copy, to make. And she goes, "I know the guy who does this." And he's like, "Really?" He works at Macy's. And, he's like, "Well, call him. I'd like to interview him." So they really pursued me. And I went from making $23,000 a year to $35,000 a year, which back in the day, that was huge. And I went to my boss and I told him at Macy's that I loved working there. I really did. I loved everyone there. I loved my boss. I loved, doing what I was doing. It was just such a cool environment. And my boss told me, he's like, Billy, I want you to consider this. He goes, I get it. We can offer you $30,000. Now, this is Macy's, huge corporation, because I knew I was an assistant designer, they called me, but I was doing all the appliques, all the designs, all that stuff. And I knew how much my boss was making. And she was doing the children's wear design, and very talented woman, and deservedly so. But I remember how much everybody else was getting paid, and they were getting paid more than double of me, right? And I'm like, you can't give me, can you match it 35? It's a lot of money. So he's like, Billy, I'm telling you right now, this office will be yours, meaning the president, the vice president of design for Macy's. And I'm like, oh boy. I said, yeah, but you're still only going to pay me 30 grand. I can't afford to live where I'm living. I wasn't living at home. Not, like I was living in an apartment in Queens. And he's like, all right, well, it's thank you for all you did for us. It was great, great having you here. We're sorry to let you go, but I understand. You got to do what you got to do. So I go to this new company. And what, Debbie, was it 4 months later, 5 months, the company went out of business. I lost it. So then I was designing children's, freelance designing. And I'm the one that came up with Betty Boop on the motorcycle, on the Harley, with the Harley hat and all that stuff. Yes, I was living in Queens, past Master Dan. I was living in Regal Park, Queens. And it gave me the time, though, the freedom to actually start to draw she. So I draw she. So I look at it a couple of ways. A, if it weren't for people like you, I'd be designing children's wear, or maybe I would have went back to Macy's and retired as the president of design, or been painting bridges for the state of New York. But then again, my luck, I probably would have been a window washer at the World Trade Center or something. So who knows? But there you go. Or been in the Army. Had a career in the Army, which I would have loved. So anyway, guys, there you go. Here is our cover, super detailed. Let me see if I turn this light up. No. No, there's a camera. Stupid. Hang on, let me see if I can move this light here. Give it a second to catch up. I don't know. Yeah, a little better. Not for me to draw, but maybe for you guys. But here on 11x17 artboard is this is the hardcover for Ran, Revenge of the Warrior, launching probably going to launch on Indiegogo. Got to talk to Ethan the week after next. So I'm looking at October 1st to launch on October 1st, 2025. And we'll be talking all that up. But in the meantime, tomorrow at 7 p.m., I'm going to go live tomorrow anyway, and I'm going to show a lot of the art and stuff like that. The interiors are variant covers for Wolverine She Dark Knight of Judgment, #1 25th anniversary edition. Thank you all for being so wonderful to us. We love you, and you guys have a great day, all right? Maybe I'll make this blood I'm going to shadow this blood a little bit. Can you guys see me doing that? I'm going to add some shadows and highlights to this blood, so you can tell it's blood. Get in as close as I can for you guys. Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice touch. There you go. Ran, Revenge of the Warrior. Try to get the angle right. I can't. But there she is. That's pretty cool. Thank you guys. All 257 of you guys watching right now. You guys rock, man. Good to see you. And you're going to love this book. So like I say, you're going to love this book. Whose birthday is it? Whose early birthday is it? David. My goodness. Is this David the Dutchman? Are you the Dutchman, David? Is it your birthday? Happy birthday, my friend. Today, for those that don't know, I'm going to share my screen. So let's go over here. I'll switch my glasses because these are my drawing glasses and they're 2 power. And I can't look at my screen. So I have to put on 1 power glasses so I can look at the screen. There we go. Boop. Because it's all blurry. It's too. But I'm going to share my screen. Let's go to the Facebook page. Sorry, you guys can't see the let's go to Billy Tucci. Continue browsing Tucci Troopers. Oh, okay. All right, so let's share my screen. And I'll show you the frustrating thing about Facebook, which drives me up the effing wall. StreamYard. Facebook. Okay. So go to my Facebook page. Okay, you guys see it here. Let's close this one out. There are a lot of windows open here in the Blevins Media Center. StreamYard. Okay, so here's my page, right? There's me jumping out of an airplane. There's me as a Scott. But I'm going to share my screen. Let's go to the Facebook page. Okay, there's my page, right? There's me jumping out of an airplane. There's me as a Scott. But I'm going to share my screen. Hang on a second. Let's go to the Facebook page. Here's the problem, right? You see this right here? So here I'm live right now, right? I am live right now. But look, this is what Facebook does is shows, see if I can go big with this. Right now, right? I am live right now. Yeah. But look, can you guys see this right here? It's locked. My audience is locked. It's a custom audience. So it does not allow me, look at that. Woo, that drives you crazy. It does not allow me to actually, I think it's going to keep going to infinity, to share it. It's a custom, it's private the way it makes it automatically. And for the life of me, I can't figure out how to show this video of it to be public. See, it says live right now. You look up here and it's locked. And it's killing me. So anyway, She Wolverine, Deb said this is going to be our metal cover. Right, so that's a cool metal edition cover. This book will be available tomorrow. We'll go live with it tomorrow. Also, though, I want to thank everybody. We're so excited. Jennifer informed us that she Gatecrasher is either it's shipping, Deb. It's shipping next. It's shipping on the 25th from the printer. So you guys will have your Gatecrasher soon enough. As soon as we get it, we're going to start fulfilling. So I just wanted to thank everybody for that. Today is the 81st anniversary of Operation Market Garden. Again, as we mentioned earlier, a bridge too far, where 35,000 Allied paratroopers tried to seize the bridges over the Rhine River, Monty's Folly. And this is me at Nijmegen that my buddy Richard Boom took me, I don't know, a decade ago. And went to go see it and hang out. A lot of fun. Guy took me to the battle sites. And then Leo, my buddy Leo Burgrave, Leo took Deb and I to the actual drop zones of the 101st Airborne. And it was just incredible. So there he is. He has very fond memories of the trip. Yes, so do I, my brother. So just remember all of our fallen heroes from Operation Market Garden. And yeah. That's that. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Revenge of the Warrior #1 will launch in a few weeks. We've got 4 variant covers, I believe. Billy Tucci's hardcover, softcover edition, Dan Lawless's cover, Fred Bennis's cover, and Leandro Oliveira's cover. Those are our variants for this book. And you're going to love it. 48-page, non-stop, action-packed 1990s bad girl badassery. With a little kick, with a Tucci flair to it. So there she is. And she's cute. She's a cutie. So thanks, guys, for joining us. You all have a great day. Go check out Gray Beards. Go check out the Dennis and Andy show. Tonight, the landing party is on. And check out all our friends have some great YouTube channels. How many? 5, Deb. 5. Got my soft cover, my hardcover, Dan Lawless, Leandro Oliveira, and Fred Bennis. If you want to save one of them for Kickstarter, maybe we could save one of them for Kickstarter. If you want to do 4, maybe we could save Ed Bennis's. Ed's is very sexy. So maybe we could save Ed's for Kickstarter. I can't be sure. I don't know. Anyway, guys, thanks a million. Have a great night. Kiss and hug your loved ones. And peace, love. It's too high. Comics. Let's go and do it. Love you guys. Settings of friends. I know, but it automatically sets it for private. I've been looking into it, brother. I'm going to keep looking into it. You and that jet fighter plane. See you later, Pass. Everyone take care. Thank you, David, so much. Everyone have a great, great day. Or sooner, yeah. Might launch next week. Let's get these covers colored. So thanks, guys. Everyone have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bill Tucci out. Wait. Bye-bye.